year standard 5. Let me hope you are doing very well at home. We are also very well. So I think we are all aware with the crisis which we are facing right now all over the world, the COVID-19. But I think you are all okay. You're taking care of yourself. I'm also doing the same. So as we've heard, we have had a lot of break at home. Today we are going to have online lesson. We are proceeding on with what we are to learn there at school. But today we are going to start another new topic, not exactly where we ended there at school. And our topic today is invasion of Africa. Invasion of Africa. It is a new topic to us. Maybe some few things we've never heard of them, but I think most of the things we've never heard of them. But is one among the exciting topic, one among the best topic. I think we're going to have it here in class 5. Now here we have some new words which are new to us, and the first word is the word invasion. The word invasion. What is invasion? Invasion is an act of entering a place without consent of the host. Is an act of entering a place without consent of the host. What do you mean? It's a situation whereby someone goes to another place without being welcomed. You just decide to go somewhere whereby those particular people in that society did not welcome you. But from under invasion of Africa, we are going to see some new things there known as scramble for Africa. Scramble for Africa. I think again the word scramble is a new word to you. What is the word scramble? Scramble is the action of competing or arguing or fighting for something of interest. Scramble is an action of competing or arguing or fighting for something of interest. What do you mean right now here? We are going to see exactly, as I said from the beginning, some people came here to Africa. We did not welcome them. They just came for their own interest. But when they came, they compete themselves. They had to compete. They argue one another. And they also went ahead and they fought one among themselves. What was it all about? They were really scrambling for Africa. That's what we are having now, the word scramble for Africa. Now, who are those people? Who are they? Those people came all the way from Europe. So European countries that scramble for Africa, they came from Europe. And who are those countries from Europe? We have France, we have Germany, we have Italy, we have Portugal, Spain, Britain, and Belgium. So we have so far a category of 7 countries came from Europe. All these people here, they scramble for Africa. They came to Africa without welcoming them. But when they came for their own interest. One among themselves here, they argue for Africa, they compete one another, and also they went ahead and they fought for it. So we are going to see exactly what happened when those people came to our place without welcoming them. What happened and what was exactly needed that really they had to scramble for Africa. When did these Europeans came? Now, scramble for Africa took place during the imperialism between 1881 and 1914. So this situation of scramble for Africa took in between the year 1881 up to 1914. It was during 18th and 19th century. It was during 18th and the 19th century. So here, when you try to calculate yourself, how many years did it take place? How many years did it take place? These are very many years. You have to ask yourself exactly how many years did it take place. And can I ask you one question? You have to know exactly what happened here in the world during 1914. What happened in the world during 1914? If you try to remind yourself, it was the First World War took place. So the scramble for Africa started earlier, 1881, up to 1914, when the First World War took place. Now, from here now, we have to come and see exactly These European countries, as we mentioned them here, what were they looking for? Why did they argue for Africa? Why did they fight for Africa? Why the scramble for Africa took place? So here we're going to see causes for scramble for and partition of Africa. Causes for scramble for and partition of Africa. What do you mean? Here we have to see exactly what led the European country to decide to come to Africa. What led the Europeans to decide to come to Africa? Remember I said who are they? Here we have France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Britain, and Belgium. Why did they decide to come to Africa? Why did they argue one another? Why did they fight for Africa? So here are the reasons. Here are the causes. So the first great point here, number one, we have demand for raw material for their industries. Demand for the raw materials for their industries. It was during this time whereby back to Europe they had introduced up a lot. They came up with a lot of industries. A lot of industries. So Europeans were looking for the raw materials, whereby they could take this raw material back to their industries in Europe. When we talk about raw materials that were highly needed here in Africa, was one among them was, for example, cotton. We have cotton. There are some minerals also were highly needed. So there are a lot of raw material that real European nation were looking for them. So the only place that they could know they could get them for free and a good one was Africa. That's why point number one is demand for raw materials for their industries. So point number two, we have cheap laborers were highly needed in the production of raw material. Remember I told you point number one, it was during this time whereby back to Europe this time in Europe, they had come up with industrial revolution whereby they introduced up a lot of industries. So Europeans were looking for the people that could go and work in those big factories of theirs. That the only place that they could get them there could be there, and the cheap one was Africa. So that's why Europeans decided to come to Africa to come and look for the cheap laborers. So that's why we are seeing here the point is telling us cheap laborers were highly needed in the production of raw material. So point number three, areas for investment in Africa in order to get profit. Areas for investment in Africa in order to get profit. So Europeans were looking for areas whereby they could invest. And remember, I told you from the beginning, all this investment that the European wanted to make here in Africa, it was to get profit, and the profit to be taken back to Europe, whereby they had introduced up a lot of industries. And number last, we have area for settlement due to the increase in population. Areas for settlement due to the increase in population. It was during this time whereby European, as when you go back to Europe, European continent, population was high. Population was high. But in Africa during this time, population was very low. So Europeans were looking for the areas whereby population is low. They go and settle over there. While settling there, they could also now do everything that as we talk here from point number one. So number last point here, we have seen areas for settlement due to the increase in population, whereby European continent population was very high and the African continent population was very low. So they were looking for the area that population is very low to go and settle over there. But not only this, we have a number of reasons as why European people decided to come here to Africa. Now, we have a lot of things to discuss about the scramble for and the partition of Africa. Scramble for and the partition of Africa. So we are going to learn much about it in the next lesson when I come, whereby we are going to see exactly what happened now after European to come here in Africa. What happened after they came. Exactly already we have seen what they are looking for. Now, after they came exactly and settled there, what happened between us Africans and European. So we have a lot of things to discuss, a lot of things to see exactly what happened from there. But as I told you from the beginning, is one of the best topics we are going to have it here in class 5. a bit longer, but very excited. So prepare yourself for questions, whereby I'll do my little assignment, some few questions over there. And after the questions, we are going to learn more about the scramble for and the partition here in Africa. Let me hope you take care of yourself, as we are also doing the same. The COVID-19 is still around, and soon we shall return back to school, and we continue learning and see exactly what happened here in the scramble for and the partition. I wish you all the best. See you again for the next lesson. See you.